fuckers and fuckettes. We going southbound on US 41 between Venice, Florida and Northport. We're going to go through Northport into Punta Gorda. I just figured, well, fuck. I got this goddamn camera along because I'm shooting a video for Dave. I might as well shoot one of the trip down. This is not the prettiest scenery in Florida, but it's pretty damn pretty going through this little stretch. Anyway, we're going to sit back here and bullshit and just leave the camera running. This one a lot better.
New 70?
Yeah, I gotta get a bigger memory card for it. I got the pieces to fix that Hasselblad finally, but now that I've got the pieces to fix the board, the mechanism to advance the lens, bring it in and out.
Alright. It's not working.
Yeah, it's froze up because that camera's been sitting so fucking long.
What's a Hasselblad? What's that?
It's a damn good camera. It's on par with a Red 1, and they've been around a lot longer. Basically a professional grade camera. But instead of paying $35,000 for mine, I bought a dead one for $200 at a pawn shop, and I've had it for about a year. I've had it working 3 or 4 times, but every time I get one thing working, something else busts on it. Oh, I love his license plate hanger. Yeah. 1 bolt.
At least you could do is put a twist tie or something up there.
Fuck that, point that out to Helmet Kid. Helmet Kid take a razor blade, take that sticker off and put it on his license plate.
Helmet Kid, he's a piece of work.
He's got a, the hell is it? One of them fucking little 3-wheelers like Don had.
Right.
And he stuck a Kawasaki GZ1000 engine under the damn thing.
In a 3-wheel?
In one of them little dinky 3-wheelers. I mean, the engine is fucking holding more of the bike than the frame is. I love some of the shit that he does. I just wish he'd do it to where it looked worth a shit. He had one of them, like that black Honda Spree that you've got out back.
Yeah.
He had one of them. He stuffed a water-cooled Kawasaki Ninja 250 engine in it. Well, he couldn't get the parts for the Honda engine, because, you know, I mean, he's always spending his money on everything else. And he had that wrecked 250 Ninja that I gave him. That other kid, that one that I sold that 500 Ninja to, I've seen he's got that. He had that bike back up on Craigslist a couple of times. I don't think he sold it yet. But
you never got it running?
Yeah, I had it running before he bought it. It was just plastics that it needed.
Well, the guy that I delivered the bike down here in Minnesota Key.
Yeah.
He's a nice kid. I like him.
Yeah, I had it running. I just wouldn't run it very long because remember the water pump was cracked and I had to leave the hose in it.
Yeah.
Tell everybody to change their oil every 1,000 on the 1,000. These air-cooled engines, you get caught in that stop-and-go traffic.
At 195 to 100 degrees.
Yep.
Also, it's good to run that diesel 1540, so you got extra heat protection.
Well, yeah, because the 15 doesn't break down as fast as the 1040.
Yeah.
And it makes it shift a lot smoother.
run 20W50.
20W50 turns to, it, I mean, not water, but it gets water thin.
Is it really?
When you drain a, you know, I notice when I'm draining engines, because I like to drain them hot, I always run them a little bit and then drain it. But I notice when I'm draining engines that 2050, it fucking comes out like water, whereas 1540, straight 40, even 30 weight pours out thicker than the 20W50 while it's hot.
I used to, my race bikes, my 4-cycle race bikes I ran, I used to run a Valwayne Super HBO 50.
Yeah.
And also I'd run the...
We used to run castor bean oil.
And I run the bean oil too. Yeah. When I was flat tracking, I ran the bean oil.
And then on the oil-injected bike, when we quit mixing on that RZ400, because we used to have to mix our own gas, we finally got the oil pump.
Right.
In order to cut down and make it more flammable, we would mix 1 quart of Marvel Mystery Oil to 3 quarts of regular 2-stroke oil.
Right.
And then we'd turn the pump to where it flowed just a little bit more.
Right.
Man, you ain't never seen flames come out of an expansion chamber until you do that shit. But we weren't hurting the engines.
Did you run hot coils?
We were actually running cooler.
Did you have to run hot coils or you didn't?
Well, we were running hot coils anyway. That was back when Mallory still liked me and I could have a Mallory sticker on my bike and a Mallory patch on my jacket while I was racing. Them fuckers don't like me no more. They haven't sent me a patch in years.
Probably for that damn pinko redneck appearance you got, they probably didn't feel that you represented them like a...
No, you know what pissed them off is I started running Accels on my street bikes, my personal rides, and I started, you know, hey, you know, these are doing pretty good. They're almost as good as the Mallory's, and they were actually a little bit better.
Yeah.
But then when I did my gas mileage comparisons, because I did about 50 different comparisons, you know, Sunoco 100 versus regular 100 octane low lead avgas BP and Shell 100 octane race gas. You know, I did fuel mileage comparisons based on the same engine, the same route. And then I always listed what oil I had, what coils I had, what mods were made to the bike. And it was like, it was almost a 12 mile to the gallon difference on that, it was on a CM 500T was my favorite platform. But it was almost a 12 mile to the gallon difference on that bike running the Mallory's versus running the Accels.
Really?
Well, I had already wrote that article, and then about a month later after I'd wrote the article, we found out that one of the Mallory's had cracked, is why it was getting shitty gas mileage.
Right.
One of the towers on the Mallory's had cracked. But I mean, now, fuck, everybody that I used to know there's only one guy still at Mallory that I even used to know. And it's all MSD now. They've got their own teams, and they don't like grassroots teams no more. It ain't like the late 70s, early 80s, where all you had to do is, hey man, I'm running your shit on my shit. And you know, they just send you a sticker and they would call themselves a non-monetary sponsor, so that you had a sponsor in name.
Right.
But you were paying your own entry fees and all that happy shit. They weren't paying for shit. They were just saying, all right, yeah, we're his sponsors so that you'd have one so that you could get out there and race. Companies used to do that too.
I think Crane used to do that.
Yeah, I know Crane did it for car people.
I remember the drag strip shit, everybody didn't have a Crane cam sticker on their car. Crane cams in their car. In their used to buy back in the late 60s. Yoshimura made a bunch of speed parts for Honda 305s.
They still make speed parts for everything Honda.
They had the real lightweight pistons that were all machined down, that didn't hardly weigh anything. And they had two or three different cam durations you could buy.
See, what I'll usually do when I'm ordering pistons, because I got to use it as a daily driver, too, at least have some kind of reliability out of it, I'll call Wiseco and tell them, hey, look, I love your racing pistons, but can you make me a set that are just as thick as your normal high compression pistons and leave the skirt down about halfway between the racing piston and the normal piston. That way I've still got a daily driver.
You have more contact with the cylinder that way.
I don't have a one-run wonder. Remind me, I got to get a phone card in the next couple of days too. But you got to actually call Wiseco because they don't have intermediate pistons. They've either got full race or they've got regulars. But I mean, they're nice enough, they'll let you pick your compression ratio, but they've gotten to the point where if you want anything over 11 to 1, you got to call them anyway.
I used to have 305 Scrambler. I had a set of Wiseco 13.5 ones.
Blue Suzuki that we've got, it's got the cams are from two different manufacturers. Because the back one is from fucking some off-brand shit. Stamped right on it. I put it on my YouTube in my description because I had to look up to see what the fuck they were. And the front one's a goddamn Two Brothers. But they're the same duration. They're just higher lift than stock. And doesn't breathe right is why it's not getting all of the power. But I didn't want to drill that exhaust any more than I've already got it drilled because I want it to be quiet.
Yeah. That's a good deal for a cruiser bike. The only thing I said about your ad when you put in there about the XL coils, I said this is a brand new conversion that costs $600 or $500 on vacation, so whatever, makes the bike look a little more valuable.
Yeah, but you got to make it clear that it's already been done. Well, I've been getting calls from idiots. Well, what if I don't want it with the XL coils? Well, you can convert it back. Oh, I thought you were charging extra. Because they're reading both of our ads. And they know it's the same bike. You gotta put in there, this was just done.
Yeah, it was just, yeah. Just completed, 1 week ago.
Yeah.
$600 conversion.
Beat the shit out of me just going down here. I wasn't able to go to Sand Weekend this weekend because I have not been able to drive.
What's Sand Weekend?
Down there in Goodland, they opened up the old sand track.
Right.
It's out through the Everglades, but it's all hard packed sand. And the cops are paid to stay the fuck away, or however the hell they worked that out. The cops leave it alone. There's no speed limits. It's all laps, around the whole course.
Right.
There's no pavement involved, and it's as many as you can get in a day. And there's 5 different classes according to size of bike.
But it's a race then, right?
Yeah, but you can't take an enduro. You're doing it with street bikes. But it's also it's the biggest fucking party weekend. I mean, it makes Leesburg look like Mickey Mouse shit. But it's all fucking rednecks, that just, alright, I got a bike, I don't mind beating the shit out of them, let's go.
We used to run, when I was running, I had a CL 160 that I popped up to do a race bike out of it. And we would run, and I had put a big fender on the top of it, put the CR seat on it, the solo seat on it, and everything else. And we had, we would run a closed, similar to that, but it was a closed course enduro